Good morning, everybody. We are going to do our month-end business review for October. I am not fully awake yet. I have been procrastinating my October month-end business review for a hot minute. And I got my coffee. I got my microwaved eggs, ham, and potatoes. So we're going to jump into it and do it together. Now, normally, this is something that I really would only do for my mentorship group, for my mentees, to do like a detailed video like this. So because the mentorship lifetime option is half off right now, I want to give you guys a sneak peek into just some of the insight and value that I give my mentees, to give you guys a taste and see if it's something that you feel would benefit you in your business. So I got my binder, my daily checklist right there on the front. And then I've got my weekly checklist tasks, okay? If you guys want these lists and want to be able to edit them, it's a freebie in my store right now in my bio. Go get it. And then lastly, I have a monthly checklist of monthly things I need to get done. One of those being my month-end review and finances. So those are the things in the front of my binder, and then I've got my tabs over here, guys. So we've got monthly expenses and income, we have monthly reviews, bank statements, receipts, taxes, policies, branding, and promo. When I sit down and do my month-end business review, the first thing that I do, my expenses and my profits. Now actually, before I even get into all this, I'm very, very big on a couple things with you guys for business. Okay, one of them is doing a month-end business review. So when you hear people talk about goals and how important goals are, I'm gonna be super duper honest with you guys. I suck at setting goals. I am not one of those people that can sit down and be like, okay, here's my goal, here's my timeline, here are my actionable steps, like that SMART system or whatever. Like, I hate that ish. I hate it. I don't like doing it. Even like when I was in high school and they would teach us stuff like that, like I hated it. I don't really do that stuff. I have a hard time holding myself accountable for things like that. I kind of do my own version of a month-end business review that keeps me accountable. It helps me see my growth. It helps me see where I want to go with like way less pressure than sitting down and writing out timelines and steps and beating yourself up if you don't do it. Like, this is my version of how things are going, how I want things to go. It's my own thing. And so I teach it to kind of like just relieve that pressure a little bit for you guys and not feel like you have to do goals in like the very technical by the book way that people teach you, because I don't like doing it. Before I show you guys anything with expenses, revenue, profits, taxes, I want to state that these are my results. I am not guaranteeing results for anybody. This is not an income claim. This is me just showing what I do in my business factually. This is my revenue and expense sheet for last month, September 2024. Literally, guys, I just write it on a paper. And I have a section here for all of my deposits. I'm going to go through my bank app and that month and write down all of my deposits, business related. I'm going to add it up down here. Okay, last month I was at about $4,700. Over here I have my expenses. Okay, same thing. I'm going to go through my bank app and write down all of my expenses. So if I bought promo, my printer ink, any digital products, my accounting software, Canva, my Stand Store, which I don't have to pay for Stand Store anymore ever again. Yay. And just any products I bought or whatever, I'm going to total that up. And then I'm going to take my revenue over here and subtract my expenses, and that is going to give me my profit. Okay. And then I'm going to take my profit and times it by 30%. And that is how much I need to put aside for taxes. Okay, very important that we don't skip out on taxes. So I'm gonna sit and do that for October, and then I stick it in my binder. I stick it in the tab of my binder that has monthly expenses and whatever. And so I have all of my months. And I don't care if you made a lot of money or a little money. I don't care if you made $7. You should be doing this. Then I'm going to go to my next tab is my monthly review. And I've built on my monthly review and things that I do that help me as I've grown each month. Okay. So this part is really what we're going to do together. And I do this on paper. Just do it on a notebook. I'm gonna put at the top month end review, October 2024. We're gonna kind of do the technical analytical stuff first. And so one of the first things I do is I go to my different platforms that I'm on and I write down my follower count, okay? So I do this for I put my Facebook followers, and then I put my Facebook friends, my YouTube subscriptions, how many people are in my mentorship, my Threads following, my Instagram following, my TikTok following, and now I'm gonna put my Patreon community members as well. Facebook is first. So we're just gonna write down Facebook followers, because if you have a profile and you have professional mode turned on, it'll show you your followers but also your friends. I go to my profile and click on my followers here, and see you've got a tab for followers and you've got a tab for friends. So followers, I'm at 1,915. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, last month, guys, I only had 1,467. I don't want to say only. That's still a lot. That means I've grown like 500. That's amazing. And it's seeing the positive. See, I'm already seeing good things. I had no idea eventually that I grew that much last month. Last month was one of the slowest income months I have ever had to date. But I kept showing up, I kept putting in work and being persistent as if it wasn't the slowest month I've ever had. And now I'm sitting here looking at the numbers, okay? Like, dang, I grew that much. I had no idea. That's amazing. And then we're gonna write down our friends count. Okay, so my Facebook friend count is at 1,357. Last month it was 1,067, so that grew about 300. Okay, YouTube subscriptions. Last month I was at 872 subscribers. This month I am at 957. I'm getting so close to 1,000. I'm so excited. Mentorship. My paid mentorship community. Last month we had 117 people in there. We are now at 148. That's amazing. All right, Threads. Now I did start a new Threads. So I have 103 from last month, which was my old account. My new account is at 76. 76 followers on Threads when I'm not on there actively every day is pretty solid. I'm pretty okay with that. And I haven't read any Threads, guys, or purchased any Threads products yet. That is just me doing the basics of what I know with engagement and posting and like connecting. Okay, Instagram. Last month I just started the new Instagram. Last month I was at 17 followers. Now we are at 120. TikTok, best one. Last month we had 7 followers on TikTok. We just launched it, right? Now we are at 120 as well. And lastly, we're going to check our Patreon, which we just launched a few days ago. And we have 40 members in the Patreon. All right, so there are our following counts. I'm going to go into my store, all right? And I'm going to look at my analytics and write those down. So I have Stan Store. So I'm going to go into my Stan Store. I'm going to click on my analytics tab. And this is what I love about Stan Store too. So I'm going to go into my analytics and I'm going to click on custom range and just select the dates of October 1st to October 31st, and it's going to load all this data for me. It's going to show me how much money I made, how many leads I had, how many store visits I had, where my customers are coming from, what products my customers go to, and then at the bottom, this is really mainly what I'm looking for. At the bottom is going to show me how much of all of my products I sold, like numeric amounts, and how much money I made from those products. And this is vital information. This is telling me what sold the most from what I was posting and advertising, what was the most successful, what did I make the most money from, and do I need to put more focus into that? Is there something I'm trying to push that I'm not selling as much as I'd like to? So on and so forth. Okay, so we're gonna skip down and do I'm gonna put products, and it does it in order on StanStore, so I can start with what sold the most. Last month, I sold the digital marketing video mini course that I just came out with the most, and that made me the most money last month. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the name of the product. So we're gonna put digital marketing mini course, and then I'm gonna put a hyphen, and I'm gonna put how many I sold. I sold 89 of those last month, and I made $606 from that product alone. Okay, and I'm gonna do that for each product going down the list. Okay, so the next thing that I made the most money from was my lifetime mentorship. I sold 11 of those last month. And hopefully as we're doing this, you guys are getting a really good understanding of why this is so important and how helpful it can be, and how you can kind of do it in your own ways of things that you want to pay attention to, without having to do that by the book SMART goals and write down your actionable, I don't know. Hopefully you guys understand what I mean by that. I just can't. I don't do well with that stuff. Alexa, next. Okay. So in the 11 lifetime mentorships I sold, I made $601.50 from that product last month. The next thing that made me the most money was BPU. I sold 11 of those, and that made me $550. BPU had some crazy sales last month. Next thing that made me the most money was DBA. Volumes 1 and 2. I sold 2 of those, and that made me $444. The next thing is lifetime promo. This is promo that people can pay for in my Facebook groups that I grow. That's why I stress growing and starting a group, guys. I sold 13 of those last month, and that made me $284. $284, guys, from promo in a Facebook group I started and grew. Don't sleep on that, okay? In the mentorship, there is a whole video about how to start and grow a group and monetize it and keep it regulated and having a mod team and engagement team, all that stuff, okay? There's a whole video on that. All right, next thing is my complete Facebook collection, and I sold 5 of those, and that made me $269.50. All right, next thing is monthly membership. So this is my monthly mentorship. I sold 20 of those, and that made me $253. And the great thing, guys, about monthly memberships, that is monthly income every month. Next thing is my Facebook list product. I sold 32 of those, and that made me $221.20. Next thing is my Ultimate Volt product. I sold 16 of those. That made me $160. Next thing is my Facebook Daily To-Do List, which is not a paid product anymore. That is now free. But I sold 36 of those, and that made me $80.73. Next is my Facebook marketing ebook. I sold 14 of those, and that made me $63. Step-by-step digital marketing playbook. I sold 2 of those. That made me $49.33. And lastly, I sold 1 of the script, which is an affiliate product, helps you with going live. And that commission was $31.50. Okay, so then I have my products sold, how much I sold, showing me what's doing successful, what was I trying to push that maybe didn't get the results that I wanted, what are people buying the most, what do I need to pivot and hone in my focus on for this upcoming month, okay? Ideally, we are not waiting until the 11th or 12th to do our month in business review, though. Don't be me, okay? So then we're gonna go And we're gonna write down some of our basics. So you're gonna write down, last month I had 1,322 store visits. Out of those visits, I gained 355 leads. Both of those are actually so low for me. Or I'm sorry, of the store visits, 694 came from Facebook. 345 came from an other source, which usually is email marketing. 83 came from Stan Store, which I don't really understand that metric because I don't think Stan Store drives traffic. If I'm wrong, maybe let me know. I don't know. 74 came from a source called Direct. I don't understand what that one is either. 38 came from Instagram, which is great because remember, guys, I just launched this Instagram and I wasn't getting anything from it. And then 37 came from YouTube. And as you guys have seen from my YouTube, I'm not actively really doing anything on there. All I do on my YouTube is I do these lives, I edit them, I get a cute custom thumbnail that I go make in Canva, and I stick it up on YouTube. I don't even have any SEO that I'm doing in my titles or descriptions, or I haven't learned anything on YouTube, but I have visits and leads coming from YouTube. Just cuts, minimal work. All right. Okay, so before I jump into looking at what I need to work better on, what my accomplishments were, and what my next month goals are for November, the only other thing I do is, since Facebook is my main platform, I'm going to start there. This is not really something I write down, but you guys know I'm very big on using an app called Keep Notes. It's Google Keep. Okay, this has so much of my business stuff. You can pin notes and use it like a online post-it note. Okay, this is where I keep my keyword list. This is where I have a whole section of engagement questions. I post one engagement question a day and elaborate on it, and so that's a valuable post where I'm not selling. And what I'm gonna do, okay, I'm gonna have this app open, the Google Keep app, and I'm gonna go into Facebook. I'm going to go to my profile, and I'm going to start on October 31st. We're only doing posts from October. And what I'm going to do is any post that got really good engagement, so a lot of likes, a lot of comments, things like that, I am going to hold down and copy the text of that post, and I'm going to go paste it into my Google Notes app as a post that did well that I can reuse and repurpose. I do this every single month. And this is for sales posts and valuable posts. Okay. And then what you can do as well is, since I have branched out into other apps, so, you know, Threads, YouTube has been a thing, but Instagram, TikTok, I'm going to go through my reels and my post on those apps, or my text post in Threads. And what I'm going to do for those apps is I'm going to screenshot the videos and the posts that did well. And I'm going to take time today to study those. What did I have as my caption? What were my hashtags? What type of video was it? Was it a talking video? Was it a text on screen with B-roll content in the background video? I'm going to screenshot the ones that got a lot of likes and a lot of engagement, and I'm going to go and study those. So those you've got to spend a little bit more time on than with, you know, the ones on Facebook. You can just copy and paste them into your notes app and you're done. But the other ones, you want to actually spend time to really study those when it comes to video content and figure out, why did these videos do well? What are the key things in these videos? And is there a common theme that I'm seeing in the videos that did well? The last 3 things I'm going to do for my month-end business review, I'm going to flip this page. So the very first thing I'm going to do in my reflection is I am going to write down my accomplishments for the month of October. And this is good for me because if you guys remember me telling you, October was one of the slowest revenue months I have had in business to date. But what this is going to do is help me rewire my thinking and say, okay, this was a slow month. It was not a good month if I just kind of think of it off the bat. But going through my posts that I'm saving and seeing what did well, I'm going to write down, oh, maybe I started a paid community this month. Maybe I launched a product and it did really well this month. I'm going to go through my post and see what I brought up that I did, I created, what did well. and it's going to give me a gratitude for what did go well in that month and reflect on that instead of just sitting there thinking like, oh, October was a crap month. Okay, what did I accomplish? Super important. Then I'm going to go through and really sit down and be honest with myself and say what needs more work. What did I slack on that month that I know maybe I could do better in? Okay, and this is not a beat yourself up session, all right? This is just us being honest in ourselves and our business. Let me give you guys some examples. Maybe I didn't go live as much as I want to do in October, so I want to work on doing more free public lives, okay? Because I had a big focus on my webinars and my mentorship and my YouTube and stuff. Maybe I didn't set a timer and really sat and intentionally engaged as much as I wanted to, okay? Maybe I felt a lack of confidence in my sales post and I want to work on variations of my sales post, and that needs more work. And again, you're getting your notes and the things you're jotting down with your accomplishments and what needs work. You're kind of doing this the same time that you're going through and saving your posts that did well. You're going through your posts to reflect on what really happened that month, and is there something you could have worked on more that you want to do better? Or is there something that you're like, oh, that went really well, or I'm really proud of that, even if it's not something that did well, but maybe you really got out of your shell and started posting more in groups, and maybe they didn't get a whole lot of engagement because it's the beginning phase, and that's okay, but you're proud of yourself for pushing yourself out of that box that you were in, okay? Things like that are worth writing down. And then the last thing we're going to do is we are going to write down our current month goals. So we're doing a month in review for October, right? We're going to write down November goals, and you're going to look at your reflections of what needs work, okay? And just write down some vague thing, like, you know, so my goals for last month. My goals for October. These were my goals for October. 5K in sales. Be consistent on the launch of Instagram and TikTok, because I knew I wanted to actually relaunch those and start expanding my reach because I have Facebook down pat, okay? Good morning, Patricia. If you guys are jumping in now, you're gonna want to watch this on the replay. We're just totally covering what I do for my month-end business reviews. Is really good information. All of you need to be doing it if you're doing business. Okay, so consistency with my Instagram and TikTok and having a schedule. That was in my goal. I wanted to have at least 130 people in the mentorship. We surpassed that goal. Okay, I wanted to promote more of Stan, since I am now a Stan Store ambassador. I wanted to do more learning in the modules of DBA. Get certain things done for a project I can't talk about on a public live right now. And I wanted to grow specific groups I have on Facebook to specific numbers. Okay, so I'm going to reflect on those goals and base my next month goals off of that, and also off of what's going well that I want to keep continuing to do, and then what needs work and what goals I want to have to overcome that. Okay. So, but again, I'm not doing those actionable steps and by the book ways to go out your goals. Like, you just do it in a way that makes it comfortable for you. You do it in a way that makes it tangible, and you're relieving as much stress as you can on yourself to hold yourself accountable and reflect, but also push yourself to do more, okay? If that is not doing the SMART format and goals by the textbook, like, don't do it, because I don't. I just made up my own way to do a month in business review. I do this every single month, okay? So when I get off of here, I am going to do my revenue, expenses, and my taxes, all that stuff, stick it in my binder. Then I'm going to go through and save my post from October on all those apps, reflect on them, see what the common theme is, and then I'm going to do my accomplishments, what need work, what needs work, and then do my November goals. Then boom, I'm done. I have reviewed and analyzed October and can move into the next month with all those expectations and thoughts and learning and all that stuff, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. But I'm going to stress to you guys again that this video is not something typically I would do on a public live like this. This is something that I would very much exclusively do for my mentees, okay? And the mentorship group, if I have any mentees in here, we are doing a webinar this Friday at 11 a.m. If you can't make it, I will send you a replay, but we are going to be doing a webinar all about store fronts, store aesthetics, product features you can use. I can do some live like reviews of other people's stores if you guys want to do that, and just explain how to really have your store set up in an optimized way with products, pricing, you know, product features, your descriptions, your layout, just everything store related is going to be this webinar for Friday. I don't have a thing up yet for you guys to buy a spot if you're not in the mentorship, but I will today. But if you're in the mentorship, you get free access to these webinars every single week, okay? The mentorship is half off. The lifetime option is half off. So if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this and learn more things like this, and also get into the free webinars each week, you can go in my store, in my bio, and go grab the lifetime option. It is only on sale until November 17th. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Give this a few minutes to process and then watch it from the start as a replay. And make sure you start doing those monthly business reviews. I'm going to make more coffee, guys. I love you. Have a great day.